Hi folks, Dave Schmidt here. It's the afternoon of October 11th as I'm doing this video today. Well, I want to thank you again for joining me on the weekly update. Now today, what I want to do, instead of kind of talking about one broad theme, I'm going to give a lot of different information, updated information that's going to be coming your way, and I will also talk about a lot of this on the radio program as well. First of all, yes, I have worked out all the bugs, so now the radio program will not only be live on the radio, but it will be live streaming on YouTube as well. When the radio program starts at 6 p.m. on Pacific Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, each Wednesday night, you can go to my YouTube channel, and that's just, you put in the name Dave Schmidt, it brings up my channel, and you will notice it'll be live. So not only can you listen to the radio program on Blog Talk Radio, but you will be able to see and listen on live on YouTube as well. But here's the difference. You will not be able to come on to the program through YouTube. So I will have both of those running simultaneously, Blog Talk Radio and YouTube. And if you want to come on to the program, like if you have questions or comments that you want to make, you still need to come in through the radio program. But both of them will be going on live. I'm starting this new. It's still kind of in the experimental stage. We'll see how it works, but I'm excited about that because I love coming to you and I like being live. I like you to see there's an interaction that is there when you can actually see what I'm talking about and not just hear it. Okay, now the other thing. There has been a lot of misinformation out there about what's going on with myself and us in this round 2 exchange. There has been a Skype room out there that has 150 to 200 people on it, and they say that they have my contracts, they have seen the language, they know what the rates are, and the rates are being quoted. Folks, I want to be really, really clear. I have no contracts at this time. Zero. And some of you are asking for the NDAs, the non-disclosure agreements. I put out in the newsletter, there are no NDAs at this time. I will not be putting out any paperwork that is required until it is time to proceed. If anything you are hearing, then somebody's giving you false information, deliberate lies, or they're refusing to do their homework and they're spreading lies and rumors. The only thing that I have asked for is, number one, you can sign up on the list. And I ask for your name, your phone number, and your email. And that's it. That's the list that gives you my newsletters that will keep you notified and will let you know when it is time to proceed. That list is internal. I do not share it with anyone. I did, for a period of time, ask for you to submit how many currencies you had. I needed that as an estimate. I needed to get a very broad overall estimate of what was going to be coming our way. I have that. I have all the stuff that I need, so you don't need to do that anymore. You need to understand very clearly that was only used as an estimate, nothing more. Okay. Also, as I mentioned, nothing will be coming out. No paperwork, no requirements, no nothing, no NDAs, no contracts until first round is funded. And that has not happened yet. Okay. So I want to be clear about this so you're not presupposing some things and you're not listening to the lies and the rumors that are out there. You know, when you're dealing with stuff like this, it's very normal to have people start presupposing things or start saying things or start debating things or spreading lies and rumors. It's very clear to understand that there's a lot of disinformation or a lot of misinformation that comes out when we get very, very close to the actual event taking place. So there is a lot of disinformation that is out there. Now, I want to share something else with you. When I report things to you, I come to you as a reporter. I'm sharing information that comes from my sources. And I have shared with you, I have very, very good sources. But we are reporting what is coming to you. And I have been saying over the last 3, 4, 5 weeks that the paymasters are receiving their money. And what happens is we get that information. It comes from very, very credible sources. And then we'll find out 3 and 4 or 5 days later, it wasn't that way. I've waited because I wanted to make sure that I was accurate to say this. The best source that I have of what I call the money changers has said he doesn't know any paymasters here in the United States that have received their money. But he is saying that doesn't mean that it's not coming. What we are beginning to see is that there are some other things that are developing. Now, what I'm going to say here is my opinion. This is something that I have put together that is my opinion, and it's not coming from my sources. I have talked about this with a couple of my very close friends that are on the receiving end of those information sources as well, and we kind of feel the same way about this. We think that we are being used as very good, what we would call decoys and smokescreens for a very healthy and good reason. Now, I understand that's just a part of the game. That's a part of what goes on here. Myself and others have been very, very clear. No money is going to be released here in the United States until the system is safe. They are not. Excuse me just a minute. My phone is ringing, so I'm going to have to stop that. Our sources, the funding sources, are not going to release money until they are absolutely convinced the whole system is safe. Now remember, as what I have said, this monetary exchange, these currency exchanges, are not about you and me, the moms and pops. It's first and foremost about honoring the original intention of the Bretton Woods Agreement that goes back almost 70 years. And it was always designed to use predominantly sovereigns and whales, i.e. countries and very large corporations, to massively move this money around the world. It was later that we as the individuals were allowed to be a part of it, and it's not a large number of people that is allowed to be a part of that. Though at that level, this type of a money exchange is a historical changing event. You're talking about the largest single monetary shift and change ever in the history of the human race. And all of this money, regardless of what sources that it comes from, has to go through banks. Banks are the ones that move money, whether it's the IMF level, the World Bank, the World Monetary Fund type of level of bankings, or whether it's your very large, big four banks or even others around the world. For money to get to people or corporations or wells, it has to go through a digital banking system. And what I believe is happening is the very top of the banking system is saying we're not moving these scores of trillions and trillions of dollars until we know that system is entirely safe, because they do not want to put money out there to have it absconded, stopped, or taken from us, because they've been waiting for almost 70 years to implement this original intention of the Bretton Woods Agreement. And they began to know, going all the way back to the Kennedy assassination, they could not do this. Excuse me. Oh, I almost sneezed there. Okay. They could not really fulfill this until they had neutered the cabal and made the banking system safe. And here's what I think is happening. There are others like myself that have very high level contacts, and we talk with each other. And we've got people that are monitoring, what I would call black hats, that monitor my phone calls. I just assume that every phone call that I make, it's being monitored. I know that. Now, they really don't care about my friends. They care about what's happening at the larger level. But here's a statement that I also know. For all of you that are monitoring me and my friends that have high contacts, you need to know something. You're being monitored too. They're listening to you. There is no technology out there that can stop you from being monitored. They have the absolute best technology in the world, and not only they have that, they have the absolute best communication sources in the world. You can't hide from them, and they have the ability to monitor you. So myself and my friends, we know we are very likely being used as smokescreens and decoys to flush you out. And they're finding you. And they're stopping you. And you're not going to get by with it. And here's why. You think you may have some of the best computer programmers and hackers in the world. But what you can't stop is remote viewing. And they are the best at it in the world. You can't stop their remote viewing. You can't stop them tapping into you energetically and esoterically to find you. They know who you are. So you have a choice. You can keep playing this game and living in your cognitive dissonance of your own denial and operating out of your fear, and know that you are sooner or later, they're going to find you and they're going to stop you. And if you don't do it by choice, then the method of stopping you is not very good. So folks that are in my newsletter list, understand that, trust that. The delays are in our best interest. We want a system that is safe. The World Bank, the IMF level banks, all the money has to flow through their systems, and it's all done digitally because it's all digital money is all that it is. They can stop the digits. They can stop the transactions. And what I've been saying in the past is that there's been hackers coming in, blocking the codes from being released so the money can't be released. That's part of it. And part of it has been a setup to entrap the people who are trying to steal the money or stop this from happening. Now, how long is that going to take? I don't know. I really don't know. I do get reports that it's day to day in some ways, but I also know there's a possibility this could stretch on for another month or even more. I just don't know. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to come here and say the 800 numbers are coming out tomorrow or they're coming out next week. You and I have heard enough of that we're getting sick and tired of what I call the gossip porn. People continue to say stuff that just practically is not real and how it's going to happen. That doesn't mean those things won't come out, but it's not very practical. Again this week, what would seem to be very credible people are saying there's 7,000 of those processing centers out there. The staff are all up and trained and ready to go. Well, it's not hard to imagine there would be 5 to 7 people at each one of these processing centers. You're talking 35 to 50,000 people. And here's my challenge to all of you that are reporting that stuff. If you're in touch with any of those people, any of those staff people at those processing centers, have them contact me anonymously and just carry on a conversation and say, hey, I am one of those. I am working at one of these centers, and yes, it is very real. This is about my 5th time now I've put out that challenge. Just one come forward. I've been putting these challenges out 4 or 5 times now for well over a year. I have yet to have one person from any of those processing centers contact me. Now, what is it? Do you really believe that 50,000 employees working for low-wage positions are being trained to process these scores of trillions of dollars at 7,000 centers, and they can't, and they're all zip-lipped and totally quiet about it? Please, folks, this type of stuff, if it's real, leaks out. Just as all of us who have signed NDAs, yes, it's designed to keep it quiet, but you and I know once the money starts flowing, you're not going to keep this quiet. Last week I put out again one of my newsletters, and in it I strictly state, don't share this with anybody, don't post it anywhere, and it ends up on 3 different blog sites. You see, I know that stuff is going to happen, so I tailor what I'm saying. I be careful about what I'm saying. But also I want to send a very clear message for those of you that are posting this on your blog sites. You need to know you're being watched and monitored too. You can't keep playing these games of a lack of integrity, dishonesty, lying and cheating and attacking people and thinking that you're just going to get by scot-free. There's too many people with way too much money that have high degrees of integrity, and they understand and know what is going on here. And when the time is right, you'll have a choice. If you continue to play that game, then you'll end up like the others who will be taken out of commission as well. That's all I'm going to say about that. It's your choice, however you want to believe that. It's your choice about what type of a world you want to choose to live in. That's kind of what the things I wanted to share. Let me go over this, a couple other things as I'm looking at some of the other things. Some of you have asked the questions about, why am I back to doing workshops again? Does that mean that the money's not coming through? No, it does not. I've only done one workshop since May. Folks, I love doing the workshops. I love being in the interaction with you. I love getting out, meeting you, interacting with you. And I know that those of you that come to the workshops, you love being there. You love being around other people who are like-minded people, believing this together. It's amazing. When I do these workshops, I always kind of ask the question, how many of you here think or feel like you're the black sheep of your family? And you know, and about 90% of the people raise their hands. Well, this is the black sheep gatherings, okay? That is one of the reasons why I do this, because I love doing the workshops. And folks, if you go to my website, thesedonaconnection.com, and you look at what's on there and you read through it, you can't really use the excuse that you can't afford to come. I charge a very nominal fee. I've had people tell me I could be charging 3 and 4 times what I'm charging, and I don't. And the bottom line is, as long as there's room in the room, I'm going to let people come. But yet I still need to charge a fair fee, and there's lots and lots of you that can afford that, and you're the ones that help support this whole program. I don't charge for the radio programs. When I could put all kinds of advertising on there, I could be trying to sell all kinds of products, and I don't. I don't charge for these videos. I could start doing all kinds of webinars and making lots of money, and I don't. My only source of income is my workshops, and people choose to come to that. They don't have to come to that. Having said that, October 29th in Santa Ana, California. I just posted that only about 2 days ago, and I'm already 1/3 full, so it's going to fill up fairly rapidly. I have a very large room this time. I basically have doubled my normal capacity for this workshop in Southern California. Okay, then let's see, October 29th, and I'm going through November 12th, 2 weeks after that, Orlando, Florida. I don't have the details out yet. That will be coming. And then I think it's the 12, about 3 weeks, 4 weeks after, 3 weeks after that, December 3rd here in Sedona. Those will be the workshops for the rest of this year. So you've got October 29th in Santa Ana, California. We've got November 12th, I think it is, Saturday. I don't have my calendar right in front of me, in Orlando, Florida. And then December 3rd, the first Saturday in December, here in Sedona. I love all of you coming, and I know you love to come. For those of you that are new to this, I've had thousands of people attend my workshops. I receive hundreds of emails saying thank you. And over the 2.5 years, I've received 50 to 100, if not even more, emails from people saying it's one of the best things they've ever been to in their lives. You'll come to this workshop and you'll get the full picture about who we are, why we're doing this, why we have been in this financial slavery that we have been in for well over 1,000 years, and why it is time for these funds to be released, and what is their purpose. It helps ground you into what it is you're going to be a part of. And then we talk also about where we're going and why all this money and the shifts and change that are taking place. And you get to realize that you and we are getting to be the trailblazers on a shift and change of historical proportions that's happening here with us on this planet, with us called the human race. It's just time. It's time for the shift and change. It's time that we as a human race are growing and evolving into our next era, our next age that we will pass through. So I encourage you to come to the workshops if you can make it. Go to my website, click on, the workshop tab or link that is there. Scroll down and read through all the information. I give you the agenda. Go to my About tab. You can read about that. You can look at pricings. Now, one other thing we are doing, the one in Santa Ana, is at the Embassy Suites Hotel. I'm getting the word that their rooms are already sold out. So if you're coming in, there are a lot of hotels within 2, 3, 4 blocks walking distance, because we're only a couple miles from the Orange County John Wayne Airport. So there's always lots of hotels in the airport vicinity. So there's lots of other places you can stay, come over in your car, or you can just walk over from your other hotel. Saturday, October 29th. I love doing the workshops because I love interacting with you on a group basis. And also you have the opportunity to ask me any questions that you want. I can answer questions there live, and I can say things there live that I cannot say here on the internet. Okay, new radio program this week because we're going to have YouTube live streaming as well. I'm looking forward to being with all of you tomorrow night. Join us, 6 o'clock Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. All the links are always on my website, thesedonaconnection.com. Thank you. Love all of you. See you tomorrow night. Okay, bye-bye.